focus would be on those two new consoles, and that may be just because, or
Likely.
yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. But E3 is approaching, and more of these stories will come out, including this Nintendo story as we
Yeah,
talked about.
literally E3 is like 3 weeks before Mario 2 Maker 2 comes out. So
Yeah, good, exciting stuff.
yeah,
All right, moving on to the next story at hand. So since we're in the mood of E3 and the big three talking recently, this is from GameSpot.com. This is regarding the PS5 details that was interviewed, or the taken from the interview piece from the Wired interview regarding PS5, these details and whatnot. It's written by Oscar Deas. So this is regarding the PS5 specs that was talked about in the interview. This is where Sony has been surprisingly forthright with new information. The company has confirmed the PS5 will contain an AMD chip that has a CPU based on a third generation Ryzen. It'll have 8 cores of the 7 nanometer Zen 2 microchip. The console will also support 8K gameplay, but this will of course be dependent upon TVs catching up. Graphics will be driven by a custom version of Radeon's Navi line. The graphic chip will support ray tracing, something which is starting to becoming popular in movies and video games, although it is traditionally thought of a lighting technique. Cerny says that this technique could also improve game audio. In fact, PS5 will fully support 3D audio. They've also went on to say that it will support PSVR from the PS4 to the PS5, and will support PS4 games on the PS5. As far as the price-wise, again, Sony has not stated how much its new console will cost, but it did say recently that the PS5's price will be attractive to gamers. Quote, "I believe that we'll be able to release it as an SRP, suggested retail price, that will be appealing to gamers in light of the advanced feature set," unquote, said Mark Cerny, the lead architect of the PS4, was currently working on a successor. So details of the PS5 came out, as far as like what they're planning to do, what exactly are hints.
One of my favorite things about that spec lineup you said that they're trying to tout is that it has the capability of going to 8K. What Microsoft didn't talk about is that their Xbox One X also has the capability of going to 8K. The reason that they didn't talk about it was because, well, things are things aren't that advanced right now, especially for TVs.
Exactly.
So, like, why market that?
Exactly.
So I think it's funny that, like, I don't see a necessarily problem with PS3 doing that, or PlayStation doing that, but it did make me laugh when I read that, because I was just like, I believe that the other one does the same thing, but all right.
Right.
It's interesting that they're releasing details now. I mean, we talked about how they're not going to be at E3, so I think that's like definitely a route that they're trying to take. Is like, well, we're not going to be there, so we might as well talk about it now.
Yeah, it's them. It's weird because like it's them getting ahead of the game. Although if they're going to do that, why not do that around E3? You know, like
yeah, exactly. Well, because I guarantee you, Xbox is not going to talk about the next generation of Xbox. Like, I can almost fucking guarantee you that. They're not concentrated on that right now. They're concentrated on getting games out there. Like, they'll talk about a new version of the Xbox, like we've talked about, the next fucking topic. But that's not a new Xbox. That's just a different version of the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really interesting to me that PlayStation's like, PS5, and we got to get it out to market before Microsoft does anything. Like, all right, guys, relax.
Yeah.
But I think PlayStation also operates on like the PS3 era ideals, where
they
just need to beat Microsoft. I think PlayStation is still in a terrible mindset of the gaming, or like the console wars.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to hurt them in the long run. I really do.
I think so too. We mentioned before that they have been the last ones to not really want to play nice with other companies with the crossplay. implementation that's been with the other two major consoles with Nintendo and Microsoft and PC, and it definitely has shown that they've kind of been outed as the last man that's not want to be in the party. Like they've kind of been dragging their feet alongside that. The one thing that I kind of want to talk about that caught my eye when I was hearing about details about this is the quote that Sony said in regards to the price, saying that I believe that we were able to release it at a suggested retail price that would be appealing to gamers in light of its advanced feature set. That to me, when I heard that quote and when I saw that to me tells me that it's starting to remind me a lot of the PS3 vibes. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be way too expensive.
Yeah, like I'm kind of wondering, like,
that is absolutely fucking corporate talk for. Please, dear God, it's going to be too expensive, but we hope that the fucking loyal fans will buy it. Like that's all that fucking screams to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really does. As far as like, will that be the actual, the price? Because the price I'm thinking of is like, is it gonna be 500? Are they gonna go back to that 600 price they did the PS3?
They absolutely might. Like, I don't see it as a realm possibility, but we might have another shift.
Possibly. I mean, like, if you've been reading or if you've been kind of watching how the industry has been in this generation, like, it's been back and forth. And like, this generation has all been Sony, it's all been PlayStation, and people have been getting the PS4 because they got a bunch of great exclusives on there. At the beginning of this generation, Sony was totally on board with the gamers and totally on board with your common man. It's like, pick us because we're all about you guys. As time went on, that kind of changed, and then Microsoft was starting to fix the things that went wrong in their press conference, and then kind of built on, okay, what can we do to fix this? And they've made the Game Pass. They've made several different versions of the Xbox, with the Xbox SAD, with the Xbox One, Xbox One X, and they have a wide selection of which Xbox you can choose from, and other things to really cater more to the gamers. And it's that shift is looking to look like Microsoft will overtake Sony when this next generation hits. So,
like I said, I think that I don't remember who said it, but someone was talking about how with the with the 360 and the PS3, like the 360 was killing the PS3. But I think now with Microsoft and Nintendo kind of like joining forces, PlayStation's fucked. I mean, I'm sorry to say it that way, but like, unless they can pull something miraculously out of their ass and not an overpriced console, I don't see this working out for them.
Yeah, you can have all the exclusives in the world to make your console look good, but at the end of the day, like, it's gonna come down to, is it affordable? Can people get it in their hands at a reasonable price? Is the system going to be great?
I want to let our listeners know, I'm not like, yes, PlayStation lose. Like, I don't want to see that. But I definitely want to see PlayStation be a little bit humbled and understand that what Microsoft and Nintendo are trying to do is eliminate a specific type of the competition.
Yes. And as we said before, like, Sony has been on that old mindset of like, hey, this is the console wars, we got to beat Microsoft. And they've been the last ones to really not want to do crossplay.
There's one of the big things about the PS5 that you didn't mention is that there's rumor that Grand Theft Auto 6 will be a 1 month exclusive on the PS5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a rumor. It's not confirmed by any fucking stretch of the imagination. But if that's the case,
oof.
That could be a huge thing for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Granted, the internet would fucking lose their goddamn mind, but it would be a smart move because, as my friend said the other night, was like, if GTA 6 becomes a exclusive on PS5, goodbye Xbox. Which I was I was like, what? That's a fucking hell of a thing to say.
That would be nuts. Can you imagine the same thing we were seeing from Epic Games, buying exclusives from companies to be on their platform? Think of that with Sony. if they just started to just exclusively just buy games to their console. Not that they've done before,
I
but just
kind of
more
talked
so.
about that last. I kind of talked about the last time we talked about this was, you know, when it comes to exclusives on console, like you just can't go out and buy a fucking $300, $400, $500 console. You don't just have that luxury. With the Epic Store, you absolutely have that luxury because it's a free fucking free thing. But it's not something I have to imagine, Anthony, because they've already done it multiple times. Like you're showing some exclusives on here that are from third party companies. They've done it. They did it with Destiny. They did it with fucking Watch Dogs. It's to me it's if they can pull that off, especially with something like GTA 6, that would be a huge hit to Xbox. But I don't think it would be a big enough hit to where it would be a console killer, essentially.
Absolutely. And as we said before,
It's only a month. It's only a month from the rumor.
yeah, and we said before, like Microsoft and Nintendo are not about the consoles war anymore. They're buddy. They teamed up. Like Microsoft, Phil Spencer's out there saying like they're fine with how many people are signed on. He would rather have people sign up with the Game Pass to buy their games and put into their service than, well, I want to say buying the Xbox console. I'm pretty sure he would enjoy that. But it seemed to me that he's definitely, and Microsoft have been pushing the Game Pass on a lot of things, and that's why they're like, okay, we'll put in Game Pass on Nintendo Switch. Okay, that they're gonna possibly put it on the Android iPhone and or Android and, phones and iPhone as well. So like they're definitely these three companies are taking a different approach, but Sony's the one that still has an old mind to this to the game industry.
Yeah.
All right.